Hello, 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 and welcome. Happy Thursday on March 7th, 2024. Super excited to be here with you today. Welcome to Joanne's Healing Within. I am your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified, licensed, and Certified and licensed holistic personal trainer, holistic integrative teacher, founder of Holistic Fitness. Lots of holistic there, right? I am also your Reiki master, medical astrologer, master of numerology. The list goes on and goes on and goes on. And just to give you, I usually say it when I show it when I say it. Here I go. For those of you who are interested, my cards are available for purchase. You can find them on Amazon. Anyways, super excited to be here with you today, and I'm hoping that every one of you are just excited to be here as well. And if you are here, do me a big favor: share, like, and comment on today's show. I did post earlier, and I think last night at sometime really early in the morning, that upon sharing, liking, and commenting on today's show, there is a flyer with my QR code that you can, at any time throughout the show, you can go ahead and scan it. Now, of course, those of you who are watching, listening to this versus watching, you can go ahead and email me, and that's healingwithin76@gmail.com. After you've done the share, the like, and comment, you can click on that code and schedule yourself a complimentary 15-minute session with me, just because I want to give back after you've done all the hard work of sharing, liking, and commenting. And I do appreciate those of you who hang out with me and watch the show while it's live, because that's what makes the show so exciting, me being able to entertain you and possibly answer your questions as well. So again, once again, I'm super excited to be here with you. Today's topic is all about the spiritual calibration. I want to say that again because that's a biggie. Calibration. Spiritual calibration. But before I do dive into today's show, I want to just shout out to my partners that do make this show work week after week after week, that we show up. And there is a flyer with this, a beautiful video flyer. Jill Monkman we have, who is our personal development trainer. Then we also have Kitty Boudoir Foss, and I always screw up her last name, storyteller of astrology, reader of the stars. And then last but not least, Tammy Moses. She's the podcast host and the founder of the Hoarding Solution. But whatever the reasons are, today my tongue is moving a lot faster than the words can come out, so excuse me for all the blah 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 that's going on. Anyway, hopefully you had a chance to catch the last episode, which was about 2 weeks ago, I think, the third Thursday of the month, where I had Miss Tammy Moses here with us. And the topic was why boundaries matter. And that's a big thing right about now. Boundaries. And there's a reason why boundaries are so important and why it's such a big topic right now. A lot of that has to do with a big part of the conversation I'm going to be sharing with you today, based on Pisces season. So I want to start off by just saying to all of you who are celebrating a birthday, happy birthday for you Pisces out there. I'm in the house as well. My birthday just passed on March 4th. That's also a part of this conversation as well. So what I'd like to do before I go further is I really want to tap into some of this energy that we have going on right now. I feel like today should have been my birthday theoretically, because the moon itself is in Aquarius and the sun is in Pisces, and that's pretty much like all of my chart except for the ascending sign, rising sign, which is Cancer. And if you know anything about astrology, the moon actually rules Cancer. So there's a lot of energy going on for me, has me in this buzzing space, very analytical, researching, evaluating, but also very much intuitive and in my emotions as well. So kind of curious to know if you are feeling that way as well. I want to give a shout out to those of you who are watching with me right now. So big hello to Anne. And again, as I always say, if you are watching and you know your sun, moon, and ascending sign, put it in the comments. I want to know what it is. I know that Anne carries a Gemini sun energy. So that's going to be a big energy very shortly, once Jupiter makes us transition out of Taurus and into Gemini. And I'm going to speak about that as we get closer. But just putting you at the edge of your chair just to get excited about that. What I'd also like to do before I dive into the cards for today, I want to talk a little bit about all this energy that's in Pisces right now. Are you aware that we have currently, oh my God, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 planets sitting in Pisces right now. Well, yeah, 4 planets sitting in Pisces right now, which are the sun, as I just spoke on. The sun is your representation of what it is you're here to become. So whatever your sun sign is, that doesn't really describe you. That's who you're here to become. Then we have Neptune, which is about your higher wisdom, your higher learning, your spiritual evolutions and spiritual awakenings as Neptune's energy. And then Saturn, that's about the boundaries. That's about the reset. That's about your karmic completion. I was also going to just say karmic recycle, theoretically speaking. So when we think about the boundaries and why it's such a big thing right now is because of this Pisces energy, specifically now because we're in Pisces season. Pisces holds the energy of all 12 zodiac signs. It's the most intuitive sign out there. They're the most faithful sign. They are sensitive as well. Dreamers, but they're not just dreamers. They dream and they dream into their realities. So whatever we're dreaming about, we actually bring it into our realities. And in addition, we also have Mercury, at least for another day or two. And then Mercury is going to be skipping on into Aries. So Mercury is our planet of communication. So perhaps you've been noticing that you're becoming more attuned to the afterlife. Maybe you're having conversations with loved ones. Pay attention to your spiritual gifts that may be showing up for you. And if you're not aware what those spiritual gifts are, just to run through them really quickly, it's the ability of seeing, the ability of hearing, the ability of feeling, the ability of smelling, and the ability of knowing. And one that I always make up, the ability of tasting, where literally you can actually taste something, your grandma's favorite dish for that matter. So those are your senses, and pay attention if they are becoming more activated, and they should be, because there's a lot going on with us Pisces and the Pisces season in itself. Now, as Mercury gets ready to move out of Pisces, Venus will be joining Pisces on the 11th. And I'm going to be talking a lot more about this as we go into the show more, just giving you a little taste of what the show is going to be about. And then we also have Mars. It's going to be entering Pisces as well. Now, Venus, for a moment, is all about your beauty. It's about love. It's about money. It's about your relationships. And it's also about values, how you value yourself, self-value for that matter. And then we have Mars, which is about action, energy, ready to do something, to take action with all this Pisces energy. So let me pull that card so I can help you all out in reference to how to utilize all these planets sitting in Pisces right now. And just as we have many planets sitting in Pisces, we do have other planets sitting in other zodiac signs as well. So the big question I always like to ask is take a look at your natal chart and see where these specific planets are on your chart. What house are they in? Because that's going to play the big theme for you. And let's not forget, we have a new moon in Pisces coming in this weekend on the 10th. So that's another planet that's going to be playing in Pisces. So here's our card. Oh, perfect card for the day. Change. And yes, with all this energy that we do have in Pisces, you're going to begin to notice a change in reference to how you present yourself, a change in reference to how your body is speaking to you. After all, remember, the show is about a spiritual calibration, and that's a part of this big change. The throat chakra, that's so Mercury in reference to the communication we're having with ourselves, how our bodies are communicating with us, and how others are communicating as well. That 5, very much about having fun, being adventurous, being courageous enough to want to change something, and also finding that freedom when you do change something. That's the key word here, though, guys. You have to be willing to change something to get your freedom. So if there's something that's nagging at you and you don't want it in your life anymore, change something, people. Change something. So that's our card. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick commercial break. But before we do, there's going to be my flyers showing up again. So again, for those of you who have not shared, comment, or liked the show so far, do so, and then scan on that QR code. Those who are listening, email healingwithin76@gmail.com once you've shared, liked, and comment. And I'm going to take that quick commercial break. When I come back, there's going to be more about the spiritual calibration. I should have called it collaboration, right? Anyways, I'll be right back. Hello and welcome. I'm Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your holistic integrative teacher, licensed personal trainer, Reiki master, published author, and card creator. Let me take you down a path of direct communication with the physical body in order to become more aware and in sync with your soul. I will help you to observe and understand the language of the body as it regards to the needs of the soul. Join me on this journey of great expansion and a unique experience. I will help you integrate your mind, body, and soul as you move forward on your journey. For questions, readings, and self-growth discovery session, email healingwithin76@gmail.com. Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I'm super excited to have you with me right now. Please go ahead and share, like, and comment. If you did miss the very beginning, you can always catch the show on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, and or you can listen to the show as well on some major platforms such as Spotify, Audible, and iHeartRadio, and there's many more. Anyway, I always like to bring back the card because that I do find it's important. The chakra of the day is the throat chakra, very much associated with the Mercury energy that's in Pisces for its final days, because Mercury will be getting ready to transit out of Pisces and start its whole new astrological cycle again as it moves into Aries. But for the fact that it's in Pisces right now, it really is about spirit communication and how that spirit communication is changing you, changing how you approach things, changing how you connect with your own body. Considering the title for today, it is about a calibration. Your body is calibrating, spiritually speaking, meaning that there's different things going on with our bodies. And I have a few quotes here that after reading and listening and watching different TikToks, I like to come back and share quotes with you. And here's one quote that actually came from a Zoom event that I was watching yesterday, which is, pain is a channel of resistance. Pain is a channel of resistance. So when we think about pain, physical pain that you have in your body, wherever it shows up, it's a channel based on what it is you're resisting. So there's something in your external world that you may very well be resisting that very well is showing up in your physical body as pain. So when we think about all this energy that we do have going on in Pisces right now, which is about our intuition, our ability to recognize that there's something more beyond what's in front of us, known as the afterlife, the higher power, the ability to know things without knowing things. So think about that just for a moment in regards to that whole process of how you make that connection with your body. Where are you experiencing pain in your body? So let's just say, for argument's sake, you're experiencing pain in the shoulder. And let's say it's the right shoulder. Now, theoretically, the metaphysical explanation to shoulder pain is that you're doing a lot of shoulding on yourself. I should be doing it this way. It should be done this way. They should be doing it that way. We should be doing it that way. And that over time creates a lot of discomfort and limits your range of motion on how you use your shoulder. So it literally stops you from doing things. So where is the resistance? Why is it you're resisting what either it is you are doing or somebody else is doing? So the big questions that you need to start asking yourself is the whys. The whys. And when you start asking about the whys, that's where you're going to start to see, that's where you're going to actually start to see the shifts happening in your body. Right side of the body is about taking action. Now, if you were experiencing that shoulder discomfort on the left side of the body, it's about receiving. How are you receiving the support? If someone's suggesting something to you in regards to your should, how are you receiving that? So think about that the next time you're experiencing pain. Pain is a channel of resistance. That came from, and I'm sure I'm going to mess up her name, and I apologize, Diana, D-A-N-A-Y, Novana, N-O-V-O-A, and I'm sure I screwed that up, and my apologies if she ends up watching, and I will tag most of the people if I can that I quote, The other two that I will eventually quote are actually authors, big time authors, so I won't be able to quote them. I mean, I won't be able to mention them. Anyway, so think about that in regards to pain is a channel of resisting. What are you resisting? Come back to your why, to why that may be. Now, I know for me, a while back, about 4 months ago, if you've been following me regularly, I had experienced shoulder and elbow discomfort based on doing a lot of repetition on moving. Now with weight training, it was about packing boxes and picking them up, and there was a lot going on over a very short period of time. And there was a lot of resistance. The resistance of having to shut down my business, my storefront, after 22 years of being there. There was resistance there. There was a lot of judgment that I was holding on to. There was a lot of shame that I had going on. And yet I was still being led by spirit to close down the storefront. And believe it or not, it was the best decision I've ever made, because I let go of the extra weight that I was carrying, the physical weight of all the things that I had in that space. So there was a big transformation that took place. So I released the resistance, and as I did, the pain itself started relieving. So pay attention to what it is your body is actually trying to talk to you to tell you to change, because that itself is a calibration. There's something calibrating. You know, if you're experiencing a sore throat or a cough, or you get a headache, these are little messages that's coming through. And every part of our body is an association with a specific chakra point. So, for example, I know you're curious, what's the chakra point to the shoulders? Can anybody guess? Put your hand up if you can guess, and I'm going to give you the answer anyway, because I can't see you putting your hands up. The chakra point to shoulders is the throat chakra. Believe it or not, it's right in the line of the throat chakra. So it is about the communication. In reference to the internal dialogue that I was having with myself based on what I was going through at that time during that transition. It was a big transition. I don't know if any one of you have ever experienced closing down a storefront after a really long time. 22 years is a long time to keep a storefront going. And it's not that I closed the business down. The business is thriving. It's a virtual business now, so there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. So pay attention to, again, what your body is actually trying to tell you in with this. And I want to bring some of these planets into play with this particular topic. When we talk about the body, we talk about the pain points. We are talking about, for example, tomorrow, March 8th, we do have a conjunction. Now, what a conjunction means is that planets are working together. So we have Mercury, the planet of communication, and we have Neptune, the planet of spiritual awakening, spiritual wisdom, spiritual conversation. So can you see how the two play together, that communication and spiritual connection? So that itself brings it back to our body, brings it back to the throat chakra, brings it back to that connection that we do have with Pisces. After all, Pisces is the most intuitive sign. This conjunction is taking place at 10:06 a.m. So it's early in the morning. So again, take a look at your natal chart and see where you do have Mercury sitting and where you do have Neptune sitting on your chart. For me, I have Mercury in my 8th house, and Neptune I have in my my 5th house, which is about change, and the 8th house is about endings and new beginnings. So see the theme there for me? So if you learn how to understand your natal chart and you get to play along with what's going on collectively, you can get a better understanding to why you may be experiencing this spiritual calibration going on in your body. We're very much connected with our planets. We're very much connected to all that's going on around us. So different people are experiencing different things throughout their days. And if you happen to be sensitive, if you happen to be an empath, if you happen to be watching the show, then yes, you fall under this category that you pick up on other people's energies. So other people out there having a lot of resistance to whatever they're going through in their life right now, you may be picking up on that as well. So we're literally like the catalyst. We are the transformers, and we pick up on other people's energies. So that's why it's so important to make sure you're cleansing your own energy after you've been around a lot of people, whether it's through Zoom or physically, because you do not want that energy to be trapped in your actual bodies. Now, you might be asking, well, how do I clear the energy? that I do not carry this energy with me. And the best way to clear your energy is Reiki. Another really fun way is literally going through the chakras. Now, because we talked about the throat chakra, let's just take out 2 fingers right here on the center here and just tap on it very lightly. You can take the other hand and just tap on it. Tap on it. This way here, that opens up. Now, another great way to get that throat chakra activated and opening and clearing out is singing. Now, I won't torture you and sing on the show today because that would be just pure torture, but I will help you sit here to tap on it. You can just very gently hover over it just to clear that energy out, because you want to be able to express yourself and you want to allow your words to be heard as opposed to shoving it down. Especially if you're around a lot of people that are not expressing themselves due to their fears or not feeling like they have something worthwhile to say. So pay attention to that. Another thing I want to bring up when we talk about these planets and this calibration that we're going through is pay attention. On March 9th, we have Mercury, as I mentioned before, leaving out of Pisces. So that itself, anytime we have a planet that shifts out of a sign and moves into another sign, that itself creates a calibration. So it's moving out of Pisces, which is all about our intuition and flow, and it's moving into Aries, which is now about self. So it's about how do we communicate with ourselves. So pay attention to your body, pay attention to where Aries is on your chart. Now, Aries is associated with the first house. Now, for me, I happen to have Aries in my 10th house. So that's about my soul's purpose. That's about what I'm doing right here, sharing my message with you so you can better understand who you are. So take a look at your natal chart and see where you have Aries in your natal chart, because that is going to give you an explanation to what Mercury is going to be helping you communicate with. Now, indirectly, and I didn't put this in my notes, and maybe I'll come back and do this at a different show. Every zodiac sign is also associated with a specific body part as well. So as these planets are moving through each zodiac sign, it's also affecting a specific body part because it's associated with. Now, I happen to know offhand that Aries is associated with the stomach and the head. Most Aries, usually, especially during a full moon, when the full moon is in whatever sign it's in, most Aries end up with digestion issues and headaches. Very common for Aries. That doesn't mean all of them do, but most. So pay attention to that. So we think about this energy where Mercury is entering into Aries. That's taking place at 11:03 p.m. evening hour. The evening hours, and this is about self-expression. This is how do you want to be seen, how do you want to be heard, and how do you want to be received? That's a big question. How do you want to be received? How do you want people to receive you? Meaning, when you walk into a room, how do you want them to feel your energy? Do you want someone to feel your energy as heavy and harsh and or do you want to walk in the room and vibrate the room and light up the room? It's your job to make sure, again, you're tapping onto your chakras, you're working your chakras, so you're clearing the energy so you show up as the best version of you. And get ready to communicate. Communicate, communicate, communicate. This is an awesome time to work on your social media, to work on your book, to work on your writing, to write those love letters, to schedule time to meet with people and have conversations, memory lane for that matter. And I also want to make note, pay attention that once Mercury does move into Aries, that's when retrograde season is going to begin. April 1st, Mercury goes retrograde. So mark that on your calendar, because the retrograde means that we are going to revisit some energies. So we really want to pay attention to that retrograde period. And of course, I'll speak more about that as we get closer to that, what you need to pay attention to. I will put it out there so you all know the zodiac signs that's really going to feel that retrograde are Sagittarius, Aries, Capricorn, Leo, and Virgo. Sun and rising signs. Those are the ones that are going to feel. And I'm going to repeat one. Sagittarius. They're going to feel it the most. So if you happen to fall into that in your sun or ascending, quote, rising sign, please, 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 please mark that on your calendar, because that's going to be a big, big energy point in regards to reflecting back. So pay attention to that. So what we're going to do, there's going to be a little flyer up there that's going to have my QR code. That again, for those of you who have yet to share, like, and comment, please do so. Scan on that QR code if you like, have questions, you want a discovery session, you want to get a reading, whatever it is, go ahead and scan it. If you're listening, email healingwithin76@gmail.com. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I'm going to come back, and I have so much more to share with you. So make sure you come back with me. I'll be right back.
Hey, this is Joe Monkman, and I am a personal development trainer. And that means that I help people step into their leadership roles, take their place as a visionary, really understand their own mastery in the world so that they can really find their place at the buffet of life. And if you want to know more, you can find me on my Facebook page at Joe Monkman and joemonkman@gmail.com.
Hi everyone, Kitty Beauty Wig Foss, the storytelling astrologer, reader of the stars, and I'd like to invite you to join me on Intuition of the Soul on Facebook, a free private Facebook group where I post a daily energy reading all about how you can navigate your day. Also reach out at intuitionofthesoul11@gmail.com if you want a personalized reading to find out about how your circuitry works. Namaste.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. Super excited to be here. You've missed a really good part of the first show, and if you did, you can go ahead and come back and watch it on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV. You can also listen to it on Audible, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, and many more platforms. There's too many to list, and we have a lot to cover. So anyhow, as I was speaking, this is all about your spiritual calibration. We are calibrating, folks. We are calibrating. And what does that actually mean? What does it mean to go on a spiritual calibration? It means things are calibrating within your body, within your emotions, within your spirit, within your soul. And you as a human may very well be experiencing some discomforts in your body, which is how it shows up anyway. It's inevitable. It's going to show up. It's going to show up. There's going to be resistance. There's going to be uncomfortability. There's going to be resentment. There's going to be whatever it's going to be. It's going to show up in your body. You're a human being. It's now time to pay attention to what it is your body is actually trying to tell you. It's not about rushing to the doctor and getting something to get rid of it quickly. No, sit with the discomfort. Sit with the uncomfortability, because that's what's going to help you stretch. That's what's going to help you really define the understanding of what it is your body is actually trying to tell you. What chakra point is maybe blocked, or what chakra point may be expanding. Because that too may be the case, is that when you're experiencing something in your body, you might be experiencing an expansion. Not necessarily that it's blocked and you got this all heavy work to do. However, I do want to remind you that daily practice of Reiki is so important. Now, if you're not familiar with how to do energy work, bringing your hands together, activating your hands, and then just slowly separating them, feeling the energy from one hand to the other. And then my favorite pose is place your left hand right on your heart center, then your other hand right on your belly. Sit there for as long as you want to. You don't have to be connecting with it. You can just allow this to do what it needs to do. And what Reiki energy work is doing, it's really running through your system, and it's really pulling out, it's like a vacuum. It's pulling out whatever gunk that's there. Now, of course, if you are mindfully connecting while this is happening, then you can actually bring awareness to whatever it is that's going on with your body to help you become more clear, It's an opportunity to connect with the heavens. After all, we're in Pisces seasons. Connect with the earth so you can become more grounded and not be distracted, because so many of us like to be distracted, which is going to lead me right into my next quote. I'm loving the way this is playing along. This quote comes from Tyler Perry, and I heard this morning, and it's a perfect quote. And the quote is, "You cannot schedule grief." No, we all go through it. Whether it's a grief where we're grieving someone who we've lost, a loved one, we've lost a job, lost a home, whatever it is you're grieving at this time, you don't schedule it. You don't say, okay, at 5 o'clock, I'm going to have time to grieve. No, grief shows up whenever it wants to. And no matter how you try to distract yourself, how you try to pretend, how do you try to keep yourself so busy, the minute you quiet yourself down, boom, boom, there's where it shows up. So it's so important to allow yourself that time to quiet yourself down. So if you have lost a loved one, allow yourself, give yourself permission to be vulnerable, to really quiet down. Along with doing that, that opens up the gateway so you can have communication with them. After all, we're in Pisces season, might as well take advantage of it, yes? So pay attention to that. And then I want to bring into the next piece of this powerful energy that we have going on is on March 10th. We have the super new moon. Now, many of us are familiar with super full moons. We've never really experienced a super new moon. And what this just means is, in theory, visualizing it, there's going to be this big black circle in the sky. We don't get to see the new moon, but it's a very powerful new moon. And this new moon is about allowing us to bring in something new. But it's also about allowing us to release, letting go. And this energy is right in alignment of daylight savings for those of us who have daylight savings. So there's, again, another very powerful shift, a portal for that matter. All these energies are known as portals. Now, if you're not familiar with the word portal, remember, portal just means it's a, as I like to call it, the cosmic doorway to the spiritual realm and the physical realm. It makes it just so much easier to connect. In addition to knowing that, Juno, and this may bring up some sadness for you, with a portal like this, it also makes it easier for loved ones who are struggling and suffering with any type of disease. It makes it easier for them to cross over. So we often do hear during portal seasons a lot of deaths taking place, where you'll hear your friend will call up and say so-and-so passed away, and then you hear them like in cycles. You'll get like 3 or 4 of them at a time. Very common during the cycle period. In addition to that, remember that with the sun being in Pisces and the moon being in Pisces, there's making for a lot of emotions. It's an emotional cycle for many of us, especially those of us who are very sensitive, because we do have a lot of planets sitting in Pisces. And again, the sun is about who we are becoming. The moon is about our feelings. And as I mentioned earlier, today's moon is in Aquarius. So we may be in that space of like analyzing things, evaluating things, trying to figure out like, where's the pieces go? Okay, so pay attention again to where your personal moon is and how that plays a role with your daily moon. So in addition to March 10th, we also have March 11th. Remember when I said earlier that Venus is going to get ready to transit into Pisces? Well, that happens on March 11th. Now let's talk about March 11th just for a quick moment, because March 11th, besides Venus entering Pisces, March 11th is another big portal because it's a master number day. That number 11, based on numerology, if you're familiar with numerology, there's 3 numbers that carries a much higher frequency than your single digit numbers. And those are 11, 22, 33. And the 11 is about the master healer. So on that particular day, it's about being the master healer. The master healer on that particular day. Now, I didn't add up the numbers for that particular day, and I'm going to do that right now very quickly. As you can see, I'm trying to add in my head. It doesn't always work out so well. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think I added it right. It's a 4 overall day. So it's about mastering your foundation, your home. I speak of home. I speak of my career, my shelter, and of course, my body. It's always going to come back to the body, people. Your body is really your biggest catalyst. Your body is your biggest messenger. Your body is the biggest relationship that you have. So it's really important to start getting comfortable in your own body and starting to learn to listen to your body when it talks to you. In addition to March 11th, being that big portal, Venus enters Pisces on that particular day at 5:50 p.m. Notice those fives, change, change, change. It's also about bringing more and beauty and values into flow. Recognizing your beauty from inside and out, recognizing your body, recognizing how you value you, self-value, self-worth, self-acceptance. All of that plays a big role in this Venus energy. So many of you, and I'm gonna point on you, Aquarian Chirons. Those of you who have an Aquarius Chiron moon, this Venus energy is going to be putting you through your tests to see how you can come out at the other end in regards to self-accepting, self-valuing, self-worth. So pay attention and see where your Venus is on your chart. For me, this is going to be a win-win because I happen to have Venus in Pisces in my 9th house. So this is a powerful time for me because it's about truth-telling. It's about me paying attention to my dreams, whether I'm sleeping or awake. It's about higher learning. Oh my God, I'm so damn excited. Can you see and feel my excitement right now? So pay attention to that. Now, I also want to talk a little bit about the month of March before I move into anything else. The month of March, when we talk about the month of March, every month holds a specific vibration. And it's based on it's based on the order of the month. So March, because it's the 3rd month, it's the number 3. So again, we're back to that Mercury energy of communication. And because the universal energy is 8 for this year, if you add 20 plus 2024, those numbers are 8. So 8 and 3, when you add them together, is 11. So this entire month of March, doesn't matter if it's Pisces season or Aries season, the entire month of March carries the 11 vibration. So that means for every one of us that this is about being the master. So it makes sense to why this show would be all about the spiritual calibration. We are mastering our healing. We are healing from within. This is not a healing from without. You don't go outside to heal. You don't go to your friend and ask them how you heal. You don't go to your doctor. You sit and you connect with spirit. You sit and place your behind on the ground so you can connect your root chakra to the earth so you can heal. Or you step outside and put your feet in the grass so you can connect with the earth. This is how you're going to heal. You get outside early in the morning and you let your crown chakra connect with the sun. You get outside during that full moon energy and pull your hands up and connect with the moon. This is how you're going to heal. That's what this month's all about. Many ways to begin your healing journey within. There is absolutely no reason in the world why any of us should be walking around with any type of pain, illness, or disease at this point in time, because we do have the power within our own hands to really work on healing from within. It's up to you to make that decision. You have to decide for yourself to start believing that you have the power within, that you are the master of healing your own body. You are the master of tapping into your own emotions. You are the master to go deep, deep, deep down within the soul to pull out whatever it is from your wounds that you're holding on to and pull them out from the roots and work on releasing it. So you can really, really, really start talking about your journey and sharing your journey and helping others to do the same. That is the master healer. And that's what the entire month is about, being that master healer, utilizing this energy as the master healer. So you can begin your spiritual calibration. A spiritual calibration is a beautiful gift. Do not rush it away. Do not try to take medicine to get rid of it. Allow yourself to experience it, because as you do experience it, the evolution that you're going to experience is going to be so much more powerful than anything else. And you get to grow, you get to expand, you get to become your sun energy. You really do. So whatever your sun energy is, you get to become it. But it's up to you to want to become it, and it's up to you to want to be that master with this powerful, powerful energy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it here. There's a flyer with my QR code on that we're going to get to see again. For all of you to get a chance to scan that QR code. For anything you need from me, feel free. And for those of you who don't is listening and not watching, email healingwithin76@gmail.com. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. And when I come back, I'm going to share one other quote and the remaining portion of what's going on with today's show. Add another tip or two, give you a little more practice, and then take it from there. So I'll be right back.
Hey, this is Joe Monkman, and I am a personal development trainer. And that means that I help people step into their leadership roles, take their place as a visionary, really understand their own mastery in the world so that they can really find their place at the buffet of life. And if you want to know more, you can find me on my Facebook page at Joe Monkman and joemonkman@gmail.com.
Hi everyone, Kitty Beauty Wig Foss, the storytelling astrologer, reader of the stars, and I'd like to invite you to join me on Intuition of the Soul on Facebook, a free private Facebook group where I post a daily energy reading all about how you can navigate your day. Also reach out at intuitionofthesoul11@gmail.com if you want a personalized reading to find out about how your circuitry works. Namaste.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. You caught me writing. Anyway, for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. Super excited to be here with you today. If you are just tuning in, you can always come back and watch later from the very beginning because you're missing a great show. You can watch on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, and of course you can listen, for those of you who like to multitask, on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, and many other platforms. So let's dive in because there's a lot to share in this short little segment here. So as I've been sharing some quotes based on different things, people that I listen to, I watch, I go to workshops, seminars, and I do this all so I can better myself and that I can help you. That's why I do it all. So anyway, the next quote comes from Brianna West, and I'm hoping I'm saying her name right. It comes from her book, by the way. The book is called, oh my God, I don't have the title here. Do I have the title? Yes, I do. The book is called 101 Essays that may change the way you think. In fact, keep that book in mind because I am going to be offering a book club about that book. So anyway, the quote is, a lack of routine leaves room for procrastination. Yes. So if you don't have a routine, you will definitely find yourself just zooming around, doing absolutely nothing. And at the end of your day, you ask yourself, well, what did I do today? And you say nothing. That's because you don't have a routine. Now, the reason why I bring up routine, because connecting with your body, calibrating your body, requires you to practice. Practice, as there's 5 pillars. The first pillar is where you're shaking out your energy. Second pillar is your strength training to make your muscles strong, to make your body strong. Third pillar is stretching, where you're literally stretching, elongating. Fourth pillar is breathing, connecting back to your breath. And the fifth pillar is meditation. Not meditation when you fall asleep, but meditation when you sit and practice, you ask a question, and then you wait to hear guidance. Whether you hear that guidance through a meditation or you hear it through your waking world, it's a practice. And you need to have a routine. You need to set it up into your day, every day, not just once a week, not just once a month, every day. This is how you keep your chakra system flowing. This is how you keep more aligned with whatever's going on with your body. This is also how you release out whatever resistance you have going on in your mind, in your emotions, in your spirit. Because again, face fact, people, we are spiritual beings having many human experiences. And those human experiences, as Bobby and I were chatting about before the show started, we're going to have our ups and downs. There are going to be days we're going to feel right on top of the world and everything is amazing. And we're believing in faith. And then there's going to be times we're feeling like, oh, crap. Darkest moments of your life, you still have to hold on to your faith. And if you practice your practice, you'll be able to do that. And then you do come out of your darkest moments a lot sooner than if you're not practicing it at all. So again, a big practice that I have is aligning your chakras. I showed you earlier how to do it. Tapping on your chakras, literally tapping. Do it with me, tapping on the chakras. Do it with me, tapping. Wake those chakras up, tap it, like the Hong Kong, yes. Tap on your belly, tap below your belly, tap down by your pelvis area. This is going to help activate the chakras to wake it up. And I believe me when I say, if you take a minute and think about this tapping, you'll start to feel that tingling sensation happening because you're waking up your chakras. And when you wake your chakras up, there's no way on heaven and earth that anything's going to stay stagnant. And then become aware of your emotions. So whatever you're experiencing, through whatever you're experiencing, pay attention to your emotions. If you've lost something, it falls under the category of grief. You're grieving. Allow yourself to experience the grief, because otherwise, if you're not allowing yourself to experience the grief, it's going to get stuck in you. And most of the time, and this is another quote, I'm just trying to find it so I can say it right, based on the quote. I picked this one up the other day as well, and I loved it as well. I'm just trying to find it, so give me a minute. As I'm trying to find it, I'm trying to find it. Where the hell is it? Yes. When it comes to an end, it translates grief. People that grieve, they grieve because they're unable to really feel love. So think about that for a minute, and that again comes from our amazing Diana. I quoted her before. People that grieve, they grieve because they cannot feel love. They're unable to feel love. And that really falls into the category of self-worth, self-acceptance, self-value. So that's our Venus energy. So whatever you're grieving, whatever you've lost, a friend, a job, a home, whatever, you may very well be feeling that grief. You may have fear, you may be angry, whatever it is, allow yourself to feel it. When we think about anger, here's another big aha moment. Anger translates inflammation. So when you have inflammation going on in your body, when you have pain in your body, that's because there's some anger somewhere. Underlying surface of anger. Dig in to find out where that anger is coming from. How far back do you need to go to define where that anger is coming from? Because it may not be about now. It may be something that happened 20 years ago that you now have an experience showing up in your life right now to help you heal from the anger from 20 years ago. So do the work. This is a precious, amazing moment that we do have going on in regards to our spiritual collaboration. Not collaboration, I said it again. Calibration. I'm the one that came up with the damn title. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. So think about it in reference to how your body is calibrating, how your body is going through the spiritual calibration. And we have all these different lessons to experience it through. So anyway, last thing I want to bring up before we go to that final commercial break, and then I give you the conclusion of today's show, we have one more piece of energy coming through during this month, and I'm sure there's more, but these were the focus points. March 22nd, another portal, because the 22nd, as mentioned earlier, is a master number. 22 is about the master builder. What are you building? What are you holding space so other people can build? On March 22nd, Mars will enter Pisces at 7:47 p.m. So Mars is about action. It's about strength. It's about wanting to do something. Where does Mars sit on your chart? I happen to have Mars in my 10th house. Notice I said my 10th house a lot today. Yes. So there's a lot of soul's work going on. So pay attention to your natal chart. Pay attention to all this energy. Pay attention to your external forces because they are your lessons. Those are your lessons that may very well be running through your chakra system, helping you to experience the spiritual calibration that you're going through. Do not be in a rush to run away from your spiritual calibration. Enjoy your spiritual calibration. Embrace your spiritual calibration. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to pull one more card before we take a commercial break. And let's see what card this is, because I think I covered everything. Whoops, there was going to be a flyer. This damn card shows up all the time, and it's in reverse. Patience. Oh my God, if I have to hear this one more time. Yes, we do need to be patient with ourselves. We need to be patient with our body, because our body is our biggest teacher. The green is the heart center. This is the matters of the heart. So what is weighing on your heart? What is it that you need to work and heal? That 4 energy perfectly aligned with our moon's energy, because the 4 is associated with Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. And when we talk about the moon's energy, it's how we feel. The 4 is also about your foundation, your structure, your home, which is your body, your workplace, your soul's work, and also your family and soul family for that matter. So work on your heart center during this Pisces season. So enjoy, and do not be so quick to get rid of your spiritual calibration. Allow your body to calibrate. Allow yourself to experience whatever the discomfort is that's going on in your body, because once you stretch yourself, you will learn a lot about yourself, and you will literally raise your vibration and enjoy the journey that you are on. So I just want to make sure I have everything before I go to that commercial break and go into my promos when we get back. I think I do. So again, bring up that flyer, scan on that QR code. If you have questions, if you'd like to schedule a self-growth discovery session, want to get a reading, whatever it is, scan the code. And if you are listening, you can email healingwithin76@gmail.com. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. I need some water. And then I'll be back with the highlights and all that's going on with our partners and conclusion of the show. I'll be right back. Hello and welcome. I'm Joanne Angel Barry Colon, your holistic integrative teacher, licensed personal trainer, Reiki master, published author, and card creator. Let me take you down a path of direct communication with the physical body in order to become more aware and in sync with your soul. I will help you to observe and understand the language of the body as it regards to the needs of the soul. Join me on this journey of great expansion and a unique experience. I will help you integrate your mind, body, and soul as you move forward on your journey. For questions, readings, and self-growth discovery session, email healingwithin76@gmail.com. Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Colon. Oh my God, you missed an amazing show, guys, but you can come back and watch on the replay. You can do so by watching Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, YouTube, Twitter, and of course you can listen to the show on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Audible, and many other platforms. Anyway, I want to give a shout out to some of our partners that do have some amazing things going on for each and every one of you. And there's a flyer for each, so here we go. We have Joe Monkman, who offers Spirit Messages. It's a 6-week program, meets on Tuesday. Check out the flyer. It's in session as we speak. And then we also have Kitty Foss, who offers the Words of Wisdom. Kitty Foss, the Words of Wisdom. That's a really fun class because it actually teaches you how to use different words to help raise your vibration. So if you have not had an opportunity, check it out. It meets on the 3rd Monday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we have birthday special. My birthday, as I mentioned, just passed on March 4th, and I'm offering an amazing opportunity for you to get to work with me for 6 weeks in the body and soul transformation. There is no contact information on that flyer. Excuse me for that. Of course, you could just go ahead and email healingwithin76@gmail.com or scan that QR code and go ahead and ask me more about my 6-week body and soul transformation program. With that in mind. Then the next one, the art of connection, 365 gratitude quotes. Yes, I am one of the contributing authors. There are over, 300 contributors to this amazing book. It does come out in print sometime this week. I'll have more information about that as we get closer. So really excited about that. And then last but not least, excuse me, Your Success Magazine. Jeremy McDonald on there. Rich Parsons is the publisher to this, and I happen to have a article called March 4th. You're definitely going to want to read that. You can get that link from me. Again, you can email healingwithin76@gmail.com. It always comes back to me, people. You always have to reach out to me to get to the things you need to get to. Anyway, this was so much fun today. I was really excited to be here with you, and I look forward to seeing you again. Not sure if we're going to be coming live on the third Thursday this month. I will keep you posted, but we will definitely be here on the first Thursday of April. Either way, stay tuned and know that when I do show up, I bring you a lot of insight to help you really discover who you are on a soul's level, digging within so you can experience your spiritual calibration. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to share, like, and comment. And until next time, bye-bye for now.